talk about IWSB. Yeah. Okay. What is IWSB? I'll just share. With a couple of stories, I'll narrate and I'll tell you what does this really mean. There is a gentleman called Ashok Kanwar. Yeah, it's a real story. And he was not from IIMs, from some best of the top 15 institutions of some of the time. There's a story about 1990, 89, 90. Yeah, Ashok Kanwar. He passed out of he did his finish his MBA and he joined a company called Wipro Lighting as a marketing guy in the area of marketing. As usual, any person joining any corporate in the area of marketing will be first sent to sales, and sales in a place which is a remote place. Yeah? सबको आप सोचते हैं हिंदुस्तान लिवर और प्रॉक्टर एंड गैम्बल में जाऊंगा, these are the gods of marketing. वो क्या करेगा? आपको बैलगाड़ी के पीछे 1000 किलो सर्फ धर के बोलेगा तुम गांव बेच के आना. क्या? कहीं बेच देगा चंपारण या इटावा बेच देगा. Why? Simply because you need to understand first the market. Almost 80% of market lies in the countryside, not in the city. Okay? So first and foremost, they'll make you understand. So this Ashok was sent to a remote place in Gujarat. And he had to sell the bulbs. And he realized the bulbs are needed only during the dark time. Yeah, at night. And he realized all the shops and kirana dukan, I'm talking about 1990 ki baat hai. Yeah. Many of them closes, most of them close by the time 7:30, 8, they all बंद करके चले जाते हैं. जब लोगों को बल्ब चाहिए तब उस दुकान बंद है. Rarely, even in our homes in the city or town, we hardly stock any bulbs extra stock नहीं. जरूरत पड़ने में जाते हैं. So he realized when people want bulbs, the shops where they are stocking the bulbs are closed. But yes, there are certain type of shops are open till late in the night. What sort of shops they may be? Liquor shops, possibly. Medicine shops. There are more shops which are seen all over. Tea shop, more than tea shop. Pan bidi ka dukan is open till late in the evening. Yeah. You also notice the cigarette packets are costlier than the bulbs. So why should not we stock the bulbs in these shops? So he gets back and talks to the area sales head. This boy is a 23-year-old boy. Area sales head is almost a 40-year-old. He said, यार इज्जत का सवाल है. तू क्या बोल रहा है? विप्रो का इज्जत पान के दुकान में बेचेगा? That is a thinking. But he has to figure out. He has to fight it out to convince person, dear friend, logically, bulbs when people need, he has to be customer friendly, customer delight. This is the only way we can get it. So they both decided. His boss said, किसी को मत बताना, हम लोग थोड़ा experiment करते हैं. And their experiment of one quarter proved so successful. The volumes grew by 400% in a matter of 3 months. The whole strategy of sales changed. Look at a 23-year-old boy fighting the way company thought this is the way doing business. Yeah, and he changed. I don't want to go further on the lighting business, but I want to go on the Ashok's journey business. अगर ऐसा कोई बालक है या some individual has changed the paradigm of a business, will he go unnoticed in the industry? No. You can see a lot of things here in way he thinks. Yeah, innovation, entrepreneurship, risk taking. वो नौकरी कर रहा है. For name's sake, he is doing a job, but he is doing much more than a job. He is able to think, he is able to innovate, he is able to take risks. Yeah, he completely defined the way Wipro did the business, or Wipro sales, these guys did the business, Wipro lighting did the business. So in no time, by the age, he was 23-year-old, next 5 years, he became marketing head of one of the largest white goods company of this country. By age of 35, he ended up being the CEO of the second largest white goods company of this country. By 42, he is retired. Why is he retired? Because he has been picked to head. We all know the story of Nandan. By age of 52, he is now handling very important portfolio for the government. Similarly, Ashok Kanwar also, 6 years ago, he is now advisor to the electronics industry for a body called CII, Confederation of Indian Industry. He heads the advisory body at the age of 42. Yeah? I'm talking about entrepreneurial thinking. I'm talking about entrepreneurial leadership of an individual. Yeah? I'll narrate one more story. The second story, or third story, or fourth story, many stories in quickly. There are two youngsters who passed out of IIM Ahmedabad, and they went to Mumbai to work with a big multinational. That's where many of us want to work. How many of us want to work with a multinational? A lot of us want to make a lot of money working with a multinational. So they traveled. Bombay में you should कहाँ कैसे travel करते हैं? ट्रेन में travel करते हैं. Yeah. ट्रेन में अगर मुझे चढ़ना है तो मुझे चढ़ने की जरूरत है. मैं जाके ऐसा खड़ा हो जाऊंगा तो लोग चढ़ा देते हैं. यार अक्सर ये भी होता है, मैं उतरना नहीं चाह रहा था लेकिन उन लोगों ने उतार भी दिया मुझे. तो इस तरह के जिंदगी में वो लोग चलते थे, आते थे. तो आफ्टर 1 year, 1.5 year, बीच बीच में क्या करते थे? हर दिन, I was there in Bombay for a couple of years. Every day or at least every second day, one of my food item or in terms of lunch, one of my meals used to be vada pav. Time nahi hai, best thing, bhai sab 3 vada pav dena. And you grab it, get into the train and munching and you reach your destination. So these two people did it and they thought this life is miserable. इससे बढ़िया ऐसा लटक के जाने के बजाय इससे बढ़िया बेहतर है शायद वड़ा पाव का बिजनेस क्यों नहीं करें. उन्होंने सोचा वड़ा पाव बिजनेस perhaps seems to be a very good business. And they went about doing research on the best of vada pav corners entire Bombay. They studied, figured out what all goes into it, hows and whats. You'll be surprised. There emerged one of the biggest business story in 2005, A1 Jumbo Vada Pav. This is a real story. You go and check A1 Jumbo Vada Pav today. You have a website there. Yeah, these two boys, or one girl and one boy, they got married in the process also. Okay? And they, together, husband-wife team, today runs one of the largest chains of vada pavs in this country. And they have given McDonald's run for their money. Only place in the whole world where McDonald's has vada pav in its menu is Maharashtra and Bombay. Thanks to A1 Jumbo Vada Pav. It is a multi-crore business. Their vision is to create 1,500 outlets by 2012 across the country. Yeah? उन्होंने जब वो सोचा होगा वड़ा पाव घर पे बताया हम वड़ा पाव बेचने वाले हैं तो क्या हालत होगी वो. बोले इतना पढ़ाया लिखाया वड़ा पाव बेचने जा रहा है. Yeah, unfortunately, all the mindsets that we have about पढ़ना लिखना is like तुमको तो नौकरी करना चाहिए. Yeah, you study, do everything to become a slave. आप मल्टीनेशनल ज्वाइन करने वाले हो, आपका टाइम भी 7 बजे सवेरे से रात के 11 बजे तक आप किसी के नाम पे लिखोगे नहीं लिखोगे? आप सोचिए. I'll narrate on the contrary. I'll narrate one simple story. A boy, as a lecturer, I had a series of lectures in Amritsar. Yeah. Yeah. I'll talk about it. I'm not saying. If I ask a question, I'm going to ask a question. How many of you want to do something of your own? Ultimately, na? Aaj nahi hai to. Yeah. So what I'm saying, don't think yourself to be a slave there also.
But often we are looking that kuch to naukri mil jaye. Our journey is about kahin to naukri lag jaye. That's the way. Yeah. See, I want to just contrast how you can think and how you can make a difference. So when I came out of the Amritsar center at 6 o'clock, I was damn hungry. I missed my lunch. 3 sessions lagatar. So I went out and I really enjoy चाट वाट. सो मेरी नजर जो आपको पसंद है वही नजर आएगी ना तुरंत. तो ऐसा ठेला नजर आया. आई जस्ट वेंट एंड आस्क्ड हिम, यार एक टिक्की लगाना. तो ही गिव टिक्की. आई हैव इट. जितना ऐसी चीजें जितना ज्यादा खाओगे उतना भूख और लगती है. तो मैं बोला यार पाव भाजी लगाना. आई हैड इट. देन व्हाट इज दैट? द थर्ड वन. नहीं बोल पाओ. द थर्ड. ओके, आई हैड 3 of them. And it was almost 45 minutes and I had to pay 78 odd rupees for the gentleman. But in 45 minutes, this is our time around 6 o'clock in the evening. In the 45 minutes, I realized there are so many people coming. गाड़ी में उतरते थे, यार ये 4 प्लेट पैक करना, उसका 2 प्लेट पैक करना. I realized that he's making a brisk business. My computation showed that nothing less than 800 to 900 rupees he would have sold in 45 minutes flat, out of which my contribution was 72 rupees or 75 rupees. So I got a little more curious. Yeah, नाटक करने वाले सब ऑब्जर्व करते रहते हैं. So I asked him, यार दिन भर आप यहीं पे रहते हैं? He said, no, अभी तो आया हूं, 4 बजे आया हूं. यहाँ I am here till 8:30. जब तक भीड़ होती है सर यहाँ रहता हूं. फिर दिन में कहाँ रहते हैं? He said, I start at 8:45 and I go to a college. Yeah, and the college का भीड़ भड़का 1, सवा 1.5 घंटे तक होता है. उसके बाद सब मौज मस्ती करने जाते हैं. कहां जाते हैं? वो सब मल्टीप्लेक्स में जाते हैं. मैं तो मल्टीप्लेक्स पहुंच जाता हूं. या फ्रॉम 1 o'clock to 4:30 मल्टीप्लेक्स. उसके बाद इधर आया 8:30 हियर. अगेन गो टू द नाइट शो मल्टीप्लेक्स. एंड बाय द टाइम आई गो होम इट्स 11 o'clock. देन आई कंप्यूटेड 12-13 घंटे तो लगा रहे हैं. एंड आई कुड क्लियरली फिगर आउट देयर इज अ क्लियर स्ट्रैटेजी एंड ही नोज वेयर द कस्टमर इज, where the brisk business is going to happen. So I asked him कि 4-5 बन जाता है दिन में? So he told me, सर सच्ची बात बताएं, अगर दिन अच्छा हो 6 भी बन जाता है. आप सोचिए, just imagine one ठेला guy, yeah, making on average 4,000 to 5,000 bucks every day. हल्दीराम जी भी जो है पढ़े लिखे नहीं थे, वो भी ऐसा ठेला संभालते थे. आज के तारीख में हल्दीराम जी का किसी भी दुकान में जाता हूं तो बड़े बड़े अक्षर, लाइक ए कॉर्पोरेट स्टेटमेंट, इट सेज 50 countries, 290 outlets, one name, Haldiram. That's what you will see on Haldiram. देखा होगा आप लोगों ने. सोचिए 1970 में दुकान नहीं था और आज के तारीख में 1,000+ crore कंपनी ऑफ चाट. You have got to take it. There is a girl who does only cleaning off. She also was wandering in Nariman Point with some purpose. She realized, यार इतने सारे बिल्डिंग्स में इतने कांच का पूरा है, उसको सफाई करने वाला कोई नहीं है. It's a brilliant idea. Why don't I do it? She went and trained for 2 months. She came back and started a company of cleaning just the glass panes. It is a multi-crore company 4 years down the line. There is a girl who has started a business of Chamkao Juta, multi-story apartments. She has a workforce with some workforce doing chamkaofing. Another workforce just goes, knocks at the door, your जूता चमकाने के लिए दीजिए. They give, just goes down, चमक, सवेरे दरवाजा खुलने से पहले जूता वहां पे हाजिर. It is a 3 crore business started just 3 years ago. Am I making sense? What I'm saying is, see, it is just opportunities lie everywhere. It's ability to spot, ability to think differently, ability to take risks. Yeah? I also know each one of you would go to a corporate, work for a few years and start on your own. But even when you go to corporate, If you have to excel, your thinking has to be different, otherwise you will be lost in a big ocean. हिंदुस्तान लेवल में पता भी नहीं लगेगा आप कौन सा बूंद हो. Yeah. Also, you should always look at those companies, the market, the way market is going, which are the industries which are fast growing, which are the companies fast growing. They may be only 40 crore company or 50 crore company or 70 crore company. But if you enter a 70 crore company, responsibility is given to you, you will be very high. In 7,000 crore company, बोले यार तू जाके 2 साबुन बेच के आना. Am I making sense? So it is very important what you really think. I'm talking about how do you really plan your life. The more you read, the more you learn. You should start thinking कहाँ जाऊंगा, finally मुझे कहाँ खोलना है, क्या खोलना है. Read more about it. Okay? So that's where I'm talking about the entrepreneurial. Where I wanted to come is this entrepreneurial leadership. So when we sat in three years ago, we wanted to create a business school which is unlike any business school. A business school which will stroke an individual to think about his own excellence, where he can really excel. It is not a business school which will give degree. It is not a business school which will just help people to find jobs. We do help people to find jobs, but we tell them we want to create entrepreneurial leaders, not to help people find just jobs. Okay? And who are the people? We're all entrepreneurs here in Career Launcher. And there are people who have created similar companies in the last 10 years. Naukri.com, Educom, all the cutting edge companies in the last 10, 12 years which have come about. Value First, which is a very big, in terms of mobile technology company, which is behind Airtel in mobile technology, message spacing. So we all got together and said, yaar, tum log aisa karo because you're in education space and we will push our capabilities there. So that's how IWSB came into existence. With the short brief, I'll just share where we stand today. This is the second year running of IWSB. Yeah? Yeah. In the first year, even before the first year ended, there is a body called National Entrepreneurs Network Global. This organization, nenglobal.org is a website. This organization evaluates the educational institutions on this dimension of stroking entrepreneurship or entrepreneurial leadership, and they have plugged IWSB as one of the top 7 business schools of this country in the very first year. Why? Because of our work. And also we are also nominated as a mentor for some other business schools which have been in existence for the last 20-25 years. Thanks to a network of IIMs, all business schools say that alumni network is very important because you will create that network into the corporates. Think about a business school which has been set up by people with these backgrounds who run multinational big companies and whose friends are phone call away who are all CEOs and vice presidents. And so we are very fortunate to get a bunch of people for our summer placements in the very first year. And on average, 12 to 15,000 was their stipend in the first year. Even when the economy was down, we have been able to push people to take people. Okay? Entrepreneurs emerge. There are 4 people in the first batch who have already set their companies. There are 6 other people who are not students but who had brilliant ideas through a competition across the country called Srijan. 254 entries we got. From the 16 entries through 2 rounds came to the final. From 16, we are incubating 6 companies on the campus. So there are people, students who are not starting their own companies, but there are people out there from outside who are starting the companies also get an opportunity to understand how to start a business. Okay? So Professor Anil Gupta heads National Innovation Foundation. Yeah, he's an authority in innovation in the country. And Osama Banzar heads Digital Empowerment Foundation of this country. So people like this, because our thought process is that, a lot of people like this keep emerging. You will see quite a few names that will come. So we have a temporary campus. These are shots inside the campus, inside the classroom, inside discussion rooms, in the corridors, cafeterias, library, and so on and so forth. So new campus is coming up. This is a sprawling campus in 5 acres of space. So this is how it will look. In the first phase, part of that campus is coming up. So the classrooms will look something of this sort. discussion areas, conference room. These are architects' diagrams. Library blocks, inside library. The faculty director's room. So this is outside. So this is broadly how the campus is looking. But who are the people? We are Professor Ishwar Dayal started his journey in 1968 with IIM Kolkata. Then he worked at IIM Ahmedabad. He was the founder director of IIM Lucknow. Today, he heads the academic council of IWSB. A gentleman with almost 50 years of experience in creating CEOs, creating institutions of the country, anchors the academics. And he takes 2 to 3 hours class 5 days a week inside the classroom. Phil Anderson is an authority in entrepreneurship around the world. He heads one of the top 10 business schools of the world called INSEAD, Singapore. Yeah, this is a faculty. And people like Sridhar Iyengar is talking to students here, who is an advisor on Infosys and ICICI board. He sits on the board. Dr. C.K. Prahalad is inaugurating one of our schools. He was voted last year as the #1 management thinker in the world. You should go and Google all these things, yeah? Professor C.K. Prahalad. #1 management guru last year. Second was Bill Gates. First was C.K. Prahalad in the list. People you will see regularly. एक मेरा भी नमूना लगा दिया उधर. Okay. Shumanoy Ghosh. So you'll find such 25 odd people with backgrounds with IITs and IIM backgrounds, worked in corporates. Then people like these. Every Friday, there is an interaction called My Journey. So we invite some of the best people from across the country in various fields, including many CEOs, who come and spend every Friday from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock with students. Interact. जब बैठ के इंटरेक्ट करते हैं तो वो भी अपना जोक डालेगा, मैं कैसा क्या किया था, कहाँ गड्ढे में गिरा था, उसके बाद कैसे मैं उठ के दौड़ा था और किस लड़की के पीछे में दौड़ा था. सो लगता है सबको, अरे यार मैं भी तो यही करता हूं, मेरा भी थोड़ा उम्मीद है आगे. सो इंडीड सारे नकाब उतर जाते हैं, तो यू स्टार्ट डिस्कसिंग, देन लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स हैपन. सो लॉट ऑफ पीपल who have done, achieved something in life, when they come to the campus, yeah, we give them simple brief, very informal interaction with students. Okay? So some of the people, so this is broadly a gist of the faculty constellation. So what is the education like? There are basic 4 pillars we are talking about: all-round education, global exposure, world-class career services, and entrepreneurial ethos. Entrepreneurial ethos के बारे में बात कर लिए हम लोग. These are the 4 broad institutions we studied thoroughly before we incorporated interesting things from there in our business school. So you'll find, some of the interesting stuff you'll find is, every year there is a 4-day outbound. जंगल में जाएंगे, पहाड़ चढ़ेंगे, रिवर क्रॉस करेंगे, स्विम करेंगे, 200 मीटर ऊंचाई से छलांग मारेंगे. Yeah? So you start pushing your own boundaries. So you'll see the photographs here. You have to create 4 tubes given and 6 bamboo sticks given. You create your own boat and cross the river. So start being, a lot of things emerge, innovations, you have to experience it to really realize it. Okay? So it's completely very different. Those photographs also will come here. Yeah. As a part of your learning, you are attached, or you pick up your own micro entrepreneur. When I say micro entrepreneur, every business school or every institution, इसके इर्द गिर्द में एक रेस्टोरेंट होगा, एक सलून होगा, एक lot of such shops are there. If you go and sit and spend time, you start understanding how the business is happening. Can we find ways and means to increase his business? Yeah. So you become part of his business. So as a part of studying, you are also part of helping somebody grow his business. So you understand, whatever you learn, you go and try to implement. How do I increase customer satisfaction? Can I do customer survey and figure out what more the customer wants? What are the new products that you should stock? Suddenly realize over the time, that fellow is really happy that somebody like this is coming and working with me. And he comes back and he shares. So we have got a lot of such interaction from people coming and sharing, wow, this happened. You go to IWSB.in, IWSB channel on YouTube, you will find a lot of that stories. Micro entrepreneur stories are all there. Few of the stories have been put up there. Yeah. So these are some shots. I'll finish it with some few of the shots. Learning outside the classroom. You will also do a 15-day course in a rural India. You will select a project. We'll help you to select a project.